Welcome to the von Braun Astronomical Society's What's Up in the Night Sky program. I'm Jared Cassidy, the Planetarium Director here at the von Braun Astronomical Society, and we'll take you on a brief journey through the September night sky. In this edition, we will look at some of the prominent constellations that are visible this time of the year, as well as where to find some of our solar system neighbors this month. Let's start off by looking south. On September 1st, around 9 p.m., the moon will be full in the somewhat dim constellation Aquarius, located in the southeastern sky. The brightness of the full moon will wash out many of Aquarius's stars, however. If you look to the east late in the evening, around 11 p.m. on September 5th, you will see a waning gibbous moon just below the red planet Mars in the constellation Pisces, the Fishes. If you live close to Montesano on the western side, it may be a little later in the night before you can see the red planet and the moon, as the mountain will obscure the eastern horizon. Mars and the Earth are moving towards each other in their orbits, with the closest approach on October 6th, when Mars will only be 38.6 million miles from the Earth. Mars will be poised for primetime viewing next month. When there is a close approach of Mars like this one, an urban legend often circulates on the internet saying that Mars will look as big as the moon in the night sky. This is not true, and if it were, we would be in a lot of trouble due to gravitational pulls on the Earth, Mars, and the Moon. On September 15th, around 9 p.m., and throughout most of the month, if you look south, you will see two bright objects. These are the planets Saturn and Jupiter. Jupiter will be on the right, the brighter of the two. Saturn is dimmer because it is smaller, but also about twice as far from the Sun as Jupiter, around 900 million miles from the Sun. Jupiter is impressive through even a small telescope, where you should be able to see a couple of its dark cloud bands and its brightest moons. You can usually see the moons with binoculars, but you will probably need a telescope to see the cloud bands. Saturn is also quite impressive, but will require a telescope to see its rings, which are tilted nicely towards us right now. Also in the south are two prominent constellations, Sagittarius the Archer and Scorpius the Scorpion, as well as the large but dim constellation Aquarius, the Water Bearer. Scorpius is easy to spot with the bright red star Antares and the hook shape of stars below that give it its resemblance to a scorpion. Antares is a red supergiant star that if it were placed in the center of our solar system, where the Sun is, it would reach out to between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Speaking of Mars, Antares means rival of Mars, which is because of its similar reddish color, and it is near the ecliptic, the path the planets take as they orbit the Sun, so Mars and Antares are near each other from time to time. Sagittarius is the constellation just to the east or left of Scorpius. It stands out due to a pattern of stars that resembles a teapot. There are more stars that make up the constellation than just the teapot stars, but because those are bright, the teapot figure stands out. If you look between the teapot of Sagittarius and Scorpius, you are looking at the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way. Later in the month, from September 22nd through the 25th, you will see the moon move across the southwestern sky through the constellations Scorpius and Sagittarius, passing just beneath Jupiter and Saturn on the 24th and 25th, making for two nice conjunctions. We have increased the size of the moon here so you can see its phase is changing from a crescent to waxing gibbous by the 25th. On the 23rd, the moon will be illuminated 50% and will be at the first quarter phase. If you look overhead most any night this month, you will see three bright stars, Vega, Deneb, and Altair. If we connect those stars, they form a large triangle in the sky. We call this the summer triangle, as it is visible throughout the summer, as well as most of the fall. It is not an actual constellation, but just a pattern of stars that is called an asterism. In fact, the summer triangle is made up of three different constellations, Lyra, Cygnus, and Aquila. Lyra is the lyre, a small U-shaped harp generally associated with ancient Greek culture. Cygnus is the swan, and Aquila is the eagle. Vega is the brightest of the three stars and is the fifth brightest star in the night sky. You may see a faint band that almost looks like high, thin clouds through the middle of the summer triangle if you live far enough away from city lights. This is our galaxy, the Milky Way. Now, let's take a look towards the north, shown here on September 15th at 9 p.m. You will notice the pattern of stars known as the Big Dipper in the northwestern sky. The Big Dipper is actually an asterism that is part of a larger constellation known as Ursa Major, the Big Bear. The Big Dipper will soon be dropping below the horizon and out of evening viewing for us, but will return to the evening sky in a few months. Poised above the center is Polaris, also known as the North Star. It remains stationary as it is just next to the North Celestial Pole, the point the Earth rotates beneath. This is why Polaris appears to remain stationary throughout the night while all the other stars move across the sky from east to west. Polaris is located at the end of the handle of the Little Dipper, another asterism, but is officially the tip of Ursa Minor, the Little Bear's tail. Polaris is the brightest star of Ursa Minor, but it is far from the brightest star in the night sky. The other stars in the constellation are on the dim side. It is often difficult to make out the stars of the handle of the Little Dipper, other than Polaris, even here at VBAS, a consequence of ever-growing light pollution. You will also see nearby a pattern of bright stars that looks like a large W in the northeastern sky. This is the constellation Cassiopeia, the Queen. Our last stop on our tour takes us to the morning sky, before sunrise, around 5:30 a.m. on September 25th, where you will see bright Venus near the constellation Leo, the Lion, in the eastern sky. At the heart of the Lion is the bright star Regulus, which makes the dot of the backwards question mark shape that makes up the head and mane of the Lion. Venus is quite bright, outshining all of the other planets. Venus is visible all month long, rising about 3 hours or so before sunrise. Because of its intense brightness, Venus is often referred to as the morning or evening star, depending on whether it is visible in the morning or evening sky. And that's it for our What's Up in the Night Sky program this month. Until next time, keep looking up at the night sky, whether you're using just your eyes, a pair of binoculars, or a telescope. For more information about the Von Braun Astronomical Society, please visit our website at www.vbas.org.